درود دوستان، امیدوارم که حالتون کاملا خوب باشه. برنامه امروز ما، ویدیو امروز ما یه مقداری متفاوته از ویدیوهای قبلی، برای اینکه من میخوام در این برنامه باز هم آموزش زبان هست، از یکی از تکنیک های خیلی مؤثر در آموزش زبان و اون استفاده از موسیقی استفاده کنم. البته استفاده از موسیقی در امر آموزش زبان در خیلی از متدهای آموزشی استفاده شده و اه، من توجه شما رو جلب میکنم به مقاله هایی که خودم نوشتم. اگر گوگل کنید اون رو میتونید پیدا کنید. نه فقط برای یاد گرفتن زبان انگلیسی، برای حتی دیگر زبان ها موسیقی میتونه بسیار خوب باشه. برخلاف اون چیزی که آخوندان میگن موسیقی حرام، دریوری هایی که میگن اینا، بسیار میتونه موثر باشه در امر آموزش. منتها اینکه شما چطوری اینو بهینه کنید و حالا اگر کلاسی دارید، کلاس روم به قول گفتن، کلاس درسی دارید، چطوری اونجا باشه، زمانبندی، تمام اینها رو میشه راجع به صحبت کرد، فکر کرد و برنامه‌ریزی کرد. کاری که من امروز میخوام بکنم، م، حالا محتوای درس چیه خدمتتون عرض خواهم کرد، ولی تکنیکی که میخوام استفاده کنم برمیگرده به یه دانشمند خیلی بزرگ بلغارستانی به اسم لازانوف یا لوزانوف، ما در فارسی میگیم. همکارای خوب من، معلم ها، میدونن که روشی هست به اسم سجستپیدیا یا دی سجستپیدیا. خیلی جالبه که اینا برای یه مدتی اسمش رو تغییر دادن و این روش تلقینی که برای معلم زبان آموزا رو به نوعی نیمه هیپنوتیزم میکنه و از موسیقی استفاده میکنه، خیلی خیلی گسترده هست و جالب. یه قسمتی از اون که به ضمیر ناخودآگاه برمیگرده و اینکه اگر شما ریلکس باشید و به چیزهایی که میتونه منفی باشه فکر نکنید، امر یاد گرفتن زبان، مخصوصا لغت ها، سرعت بیشتری پیدا میکنه که تا حدی هم درست هستش. حالا در بعضی از کشورها هم استفاده شده، حالا خوب یا بدش الان چیز ما نیست، مورد بحث ما نیستش. من اون قسمت استفاده ریلکسینگ از موسیقی رو یه برداشتی ازش دارم و میخوام اونو برای شما اینجا اجرا کنم. امیدوارم که خوشتون بیاد. بسیار خوب. حالا عنوان درس امروز هست Discourse Markers، که ما به فارسی میگیم نشانگرهای گفتمان یا نشانگرهای کلام. ولی این اسم فارسی شاید خیلی روشنگر نمیشه. خیلی ساده است. اینا کلمه‌هایی هستن که میان بین جملات یا اصطلاحات یا کلمه‌های دیگه قرار میگیرن، حالا جمله مخصوصا، و باعث میشن که شما هم ایده هاتون رو خیلی روانتر بیان کنید و دقیقتر بیان کنید و همین که صحبتتون دقیقتر باشه، روانتر باشه. فلوئنسی خیلی مهمه دیگه، که شما تقریبا نیتیو سپیکر لاک صحبت کنید، یعنی مثل خود کسایی که زبانشون انگلیسی هستش بتونید روان صحبت کنید، مکس های ناخواسته و خیلی زیاد نداشته باشید. این کلمات در این مورد خیلی کمک میکنه. حالا ریزکاریایی هم دارن که به موقعش خدمتتون عرض میکنم که واقعا اینطور هستش. یعنی اینا کمک میکنن که شما روان صحبت کنید و البته بیان معانی. این مهمتر حتی، اینکه شما معانی مختلف رو میتونید بیان کنید. حالا طبقه بندی اینها، دیسکورس مارکرز ها، میتونه خیلی متنوع باشه. من اومدم بزرگترین حالتش انتخاب کردم برای اینکه تعداد زیادتری به دست شما باشه. اگر فرصتی بشه در آینده، اینها رو میشه جور دیگه هم طبقه بندی کرد و ریزتر، دقیقتر به اونها نگاه کرد، ولی الان اون مد نظر ما نیست. یه خود من دارم میخوام فله‌ای یاد بگیریم. بنابراین این تعداد رو، طبقه بندیشون رو من به گسترده ترین حالتی که ممکنه خدمتتون عرض میکنم. خب ما میایم ببینیم که اینها رو ما میتونیم به 10-11 قسمت تقسیم کنیم، یعنی گروه های مختلف، طبقه های مختلف، بر اساس معانی که اینها ارجاع میدن، بر اساس معنی هایی که اینها میتونن بسازن و انواعی که اینا میتونن کلمه های دیگه یا جملات رو به هم دیگه بچسبونن. در واقع مثل یک حلقه ای از یک زنجیر عمل میکنه، یا مثل چسب میان ایده های رو به هم دیگه میچسبن. به ترتیب حروف الف با من میام این دسته‌بندی خدمتتون عرض میکنم. پس ببینید، برنامه امروز ما 3 قسمت اصلی داره. یک قسمت اولش همین الان دارم انجامش میدم، میایم این دیسکورس مارکر ها، این گروه های اینها رو، این کلمه ها رو خدمتتون سریع خواهم گفت. بعد انگلیسی و فارسیشون کنار هم دیگه قرار خواهد داشت و خواهید دید. بعد قسمت دومش برای هر کدوم از اینها که حدودا میشن 300 تا کلمه که هستن و بسیار مهمن و بسیاری از اونها رو شما حتما میدونید. برای هر کدوم اونها یک مثال خیلی خوب خدمتتون عرض میکنم و حالا موقعی که اون مثال ها رو خواهید دید و شنید، اون بحث موسیقی انجام میشه که خدمتتون خواهم بود. و در پایان هم مثال های از نه فراموش که نمی‌کنیم که خمینی و آفتابه خدمتتون خواهم داد. گفتم اینها 300 حداقل 300 مورد هستن. من برای هر کدوم اینها واقعا میتونم که از خمینی و آفتابه براتون مثال بزنم، ولی خب این توفه رو نه حالتون گرفته بشه. از هر کدوم از این گروه ها 11 گروهی که هستن از این دیسکورس مارکر ها یک مثال با خمینی و آفتابه خدمت خواهم داد و در انتها هم البته خلاصه از بحث طبق معمول خدمتتون ارائه خواهد شد. پس بریم شروع کنیم بدون هیچ اتلاف وقتی. گروه هایی که هست، یکیش ادیشن یعنی افزودن و به هم دیگه، یعنی شما میاد دو تا ایده یا دو تا کلمه رو به هم دیگه اضافه میکنید. مثلا میگه فلانی and فلانی and یکی از این کلمه ها هستش. حالا مثال ها رو خواهید دید و در جمله استفاده میشه. پس اولیش ادیشن. من به صورت حروف الفبایی دارم خدمتتون میگم. هیچ کدوم از اینها برتری خاصی نسبت به دیگری نداره. شما بر اساس، شما دوست عزیز که دارید یاد میگیرید، بر اساس تجربه خودتون، بر اساس دانشی که دارید، بر اساس نیازی که دارید، سلیقه‌ای که دارید، میتونید اینها رو انتخاب کنید. لزومی نداره هر 300 تا رو یاد بگیرید. خودتون انتخاب میکنید. اینجا باز عرض کنم که بعضی از اینها همپوشی دارن، یعنی اینکه امکان داره یک کلمه در 2 یا 3 تا گروه قرار بگیره. چطوری میفهمیم که کدوم یکی هستش؟ در کانتکست، اینکه در کجا بیان شده به شما نشون میده. مثلا کلمه سینس هم میتونه علاوه زمانی یه دیسکورس مارکر باشه. مثلا میگه I've been learning English since 2000. از سال 2000 دارم انگلیسی یاد میگیرم. since. یا اینکه کلمه since میتونه حالت cause and effect باشه. میگه since he was tired he did not continue walking. چون خسته بود دیگه چیز نکرد، مثلا دیگه راه نرفت، نشست اینجا. پس بعضی وقت اینطوری هستش بعضی از اینا، و این خیلی جالبه و خوبه که شما یک کلمه رو بلدید، اینو میتونید در جاهای مختلف و به معانی مختلف استفاده کنید. این خیلی خوبه. این economy of language هستش. اقتصادی زبان، اقتصادی همین که یک کلمه رو بلدید و این کلمه میتونید در جاهای مختلف معانی مختلف بده. بسیار خوبه. بسیار خوب. پس خیلی سریع من بیام خدمتتون فهرست اینها رو عرض کنم. اولی شد addition، اضافه کردن یا افزون کردن. دومیش cause and effect، علت و معلول. این کلمات میان و روابط علت و معلولی بین کلمات دیگه یا جمله های دیگر رو بیان میکنن. بعدیش هست comparison یعنی مقایسه کردن، قیاس. بعد هست concession and qualification، امتیاز و صلاحیت، که یه چیزی برتر از دیگریه یا فکری برتر هستش از دیگری. بعد conclusion summation، نتیجه گیری و جمع‌بندی. بعد از اون contrast که هم کنتراست ما میگیم یا قیاس، تقابل. بعدیش هستش emphasis یا تاکید. شما روی قضیه یا تفکری میخواد تاکید کنید، روی یک بیانی یک چیزی رو میخواد تاکید کنید. بعد generalization تعمیم، بعد illustration and exemplification تصویرسازی و مثال زدن، بعدیش repetition and reiteration تکرار، مرور، و آخریش که به نوعی مفصل ترین این گروه ها هست time markers and sequencing. این بزرگترین هستش، 95 تا حداقل داخلش هستش، اونهای دیگه انقدر نیستن. زمان، این خیلی جالب میتونه باشه که چرا این همه کلمه و واژگان برای زمان وجود داره در زبانهای اروپایی. حالا انگلیسی که داریم نگاه میکنیم شاید واقعا شاید حالا اینو میشه فکر کرد و مطالعه کردش که در این کشورها زمان خیلی مهمه، برای همینه که سر وقت میان، پانکچوالیتی خیلی مهم هستش و دیدی دیگه در کشور غربی تقریبا اینطوری هستش. برعکس ما شرقی ها که شاید خیلی اهمیتی ندیم به زمان، شاید اینطوری باشه. حالا اینکه زبان، لنگویج و کالچر و فرهنگ چطور میتونن در تقابل هم دیگه باشن، کدومش اوله، کدومش اون دیگری میسازه، کدومش زیر مجموعه، اینا همه بحث‌های بسیار زیبایی هست که به هر حال شما دوستان عزیز میتونید مطالعه کنید، ولی الان جالب هستن. ولی اینجا الان عنوان بحث ما نیستش. بسیار خوب، این همه از لیست دیسکورس مارکرز، نشانگرهای گفتمانی. حالا تو قسمت بعدی این برنامه کاری که میخوام کنیم، برای هر کدوم از اینها من میخوام یک مثال خدمتتون عرض کنم و این مثال میخوام براتون بخونم و بگم به نوعی. یه مقدار با سرعت کمتری اینا خواهم گفت، یعنی آهسته تر، آرامتر اینا خواهم گفت و اینها رو براتون خواهم خوند، این مثال ها رو، و شما ازتون خواهش میکنم که ریلکس باشین. در پس زمینه صحبتی که من میکنم یک موسیقی ملایم براتون پخش میشه و این باز برمیگرده به اون تئوری که آقای لوزانوف داشتش که شما اگر ریلکس باشید، امر یاد گرفتن میتونه در ضمیر ناخودآگاه یا ضمیر نیمه خودآگاه شما اتفاق بیفته با سرعت خیلی بیشتر. امیدوارم که اینطوری باشه. به هر حال این یک تنوعی در آموزشیه که من خدمتتون خواهم گفت و بسیارم میتونه جالب باشه برای شما. پس ببینید، من توصیه که میکنم بار اول فقط نگاه کنید، ریلکس، اصلا نخواهید تکرار کنید، نخواهید و بشنوید، البته نخواهید تکرار کنید، نخواهید یاد بگیرید. بعد بارهای بعدی میتونید اگر بخواهید تکرار کنید و دیگه اصلا لزومی نداره که به تصویر نگاه کنید، به این مانیتورتون، حالا گوشی تلفن یا لپتاپ هر چی که هستش، بنابراین میتونید باز تاکید میکنم نگاه نکنید و بشنوید فقط وقتی دارید رانندگی میکنید، وقتی که اصلا نخواهید یاد بگیرید و یاد بگیرید. این چیزی که به هر حال لوزانوف میگه و تا حدی هم برام میتونه موثر باشه و متنوع. من ترجمه فارسی این جمله ها رو خدمتتون نخواهم گفتش، لزومی نداره که ترجمه رو داشته باشید. اگه بخواید میتونید برگردید به اصطلاحات اولیه که بوده و ترجمه واژگان رو داشته باشید، در جمله ببینید که چطوری معنی میده و بسیار سعی کنید اینو به عنوان یه عادت ثانویه خودتون قرار بده که بتونید معنی رو از کلمات در کنار همدیگه حدس بزنید. این امکان پذیره و البته همیشه هم میتونید از دیکشنری حالا یا گوگل استفاده کنید و به قول گفتنی هی بر دانش خودتون بیافزایید، اضافه کنید. بسیار خوب، پس الان کاملا ریلکس باشید و من شروع میکنم. باز هم به ترتیب اینها رو به ترتیب حروف الفبایی که بودن در این لیست ها براتون با یک مثال خیلی خوب میخونم. Addition 1. Above all, honesty is the most important quality in a strong relationship. 2. The hotel provides free breakfast. Additionally, guests have access to a fitness center. 3. She explained the concept once and then she repeated it again for clarity. 4. She speaks English fluently and also understands French and Spanish. 5. She bought a new dress and a pair of shoes for the party. 6. He enjoys playing basketball as well as soccer. 7. He wanted to speak up, but at the same time, he was afraid of causing trouble. 8. Besides studying for his exams, he also has to complete a research paper by next week. 9. You can either submit your assignment online or hand in a printed copy. 10. Hard work is essential for success. Equally important is the ability to adapt to change. 11. The experiment proved to be successful. Furthermore, it opened the door for new research. 12. The library offers a variety of books. In addition, it provides free access to online journals. 13. No one expected him to apologize, least of all his critics. 14. She greeted him warmly and he likewise responded with a smile. 15. The new policy will reduce pollution. Moreover, it will create new job opportunities. 16. The project was completed on time. More importantly, it met all quality standards. 17. He loves reading fiction, but most of all, he enjoys historical novels. 18. Neither the students nor the teacher was satisfied with the test results. 19. Not only did she win the competition, but she also set a new record. 20. The company offers great employee benefits. What's more, it provides free training programs. Cause and effect. 1. As she was feeling unwell, she decided to stay home and rest. 2. The roads were icy. As a consequence, several accidents occurred. 3. The team worked hard to improve their strategy. As a result, they won the championship. 4. We couldn't go to the beach because it started raining. 5. The company failed to meet its sales targets. Consequently, several employees were laid off. 6. Due to the heavy traffic, we arrived late to the meeting. 7. The weather forecast predicted a storm, hence we canceled the outdoor event. 8. In response to customer feedback, the company introduced a new product line. 9. It was raining heavily, so we postponed our trip. 10. Since he had already seen the movie, he chose to watch something else. 11. She didn't study for the exam, therefore she didn't get a higher score. 12. The project was poorly planned, thus it faced multiple delays. Comparison. 1. My brother is as tall as me. 2. She is skilled in graphic design as well as photography. 3. All the students should be treated equally, regardless of their background. 4. The instructions must be followed exactly to ensure safety. 5. The twins dressed identically for the event. 6. In comparison to last year, this winter has been much colder. 7. In much the same way that exercise strengthens the body, reading strengthens the mind. 8. The rules of this sport are complicated in relation to their games. 9. She dances like a professional ballerina. 10. The color of the curtain is matching the sofa perfectly. 11. Parallel to the river, there is a beautiful walking path. 12. His handwriting is resembling his father's in both style and neatness. 13. His work ethic is the same as his mother's. Both are highly disciplined. 14. This painting is similar to the one displayed in the museum. 15. The two stories were written similarly with a focus on the adventure and mystery. Concession and qualification. 1. Accepting that mistakes happen, we should still strive for improvement. 2. Admittedly, I could have handled the situation better. 3. After all, he had warned us about the risks before we started. 4. Allowing that the plan has some flaws, it still offers a solid foundation. 5. He had all the necessary qualifications and yet he wasn't selected. 6. Another distinction between the two theories is how they explain human behavior. 7. Doubtless, she will succeed with her determination and hard work. 8. For all that he had trained hard, he still lost the match. 9. Fortunately, we found a taxi just in time. 10. Granted that he is new, he has adapted remarkably fast. 11. Indeed, he is one of the most talented musicians of our time. 12. In another way, his decision made sense even if it seemed risky at first. 13. In one way, moving abroad is exciting, but it also comes with challenges. 14. In spite of the heavy rain, the event was a great success. 15. I didn't want to go out. Instead, I stayed home and read a book. 16. It is true that the project was delayed, but we managed to complete it successfully. 17. It may well be that she misunderstood the instructions. 18. Naturally, parents worry about their children's future. 19. She faced many obstacles. Nevertheless, she achieved her goal. 20. No doubt, this is one of the best decisions we've made. 21. The weather was bad. Nonetheless, we decided to go hiking. 22. Of course, you're welcome to join us for dinner. 23. On one hand, the job offers stability and good benefits. 24. On the other hand, staying in my hometown means being close to family. 25. On the contrary, I believe this decision will benefit everyone in the long run. 26. We must leave now, otherwise we'll miss the train. 27. I was exhausted. Still, I kept working until the job was done. 28. Unexpectedly, the quietest student in the class gave the best presentation. 29. Unfortunately, we arrived too late to see the performance. 30. You can't leave until you finish your homework. 31. The debate was democracy versus authoritarianism. 32. While it is true that online learning has many benefits, it also has challenges. Conclusion and summation. 1. Finally, after years of hard work, she achieved her dream of becoming a doctor. 2. In conclusion, teamwork and dedication are essential for success. 3. In short, the project was a success despite some minor challenges. 4. Last of all, I'd like to wish you all the best in your future endeavors. 5. To close, I'd like to thank everyone for their support and dedication. 6. To conclude, we must take immediate action to address climate change. 7. To end, I want to express my gratitude to all those who contributed to this event. 8. To recap, we discussed the key challenges and proposed effective solutions. 9. To recapitulate, our main goals are to increase efficiency, reduce costs, and improve customer satisfaction. 10. To sum up, the new policy will benefit both employees and the company. 11. To summarize, the experiment confirmed our hypothesis and provided valuable insights. Contrast. 1. We were advised against investing in that company due to its financial instability. 2. Although it was raining, they continued their hike. 3. Be that as it may, we must continue with the project as planned. 4. The hotel was fully booked. Besides, it was too expensive for our budget. 5. I wanted to go to the party, but I had too much work to do. 6. The two cultures have different traditions. By contrast, their values are quite similar. 7. Despite the difficulties, they managed to complete the project on time. 8. He forgot his umbrella. Despite this fact, he walked in the rain. 9. Even so, he refused to change his opinion. 10. The hotel was expensive, however, the service was excellent. 11. The two candidates have different policies. In contrast, one focuses on education while the other prioritizes healthcare. 12. In one way, online learning is convenient, but it also lacks face-to-face interaction. 13. The protesters stood in opposition to the new government policy. 14. In spite of his injuries, he finished the marathon. 15. I didn't like the movie. Instead, I watched a documentary. 16. The weather was terrible. Nevertheless, they went on their trip. 17. The plan had some flaws. Nonetheless, it was approved by the committee. 18. On one hand, social media helps people stay connected, but it also has downsides. 19. He enjoys classical music. On the other hand, his brother prefers rock. 20. The restaurant is located opposite the train station. 21. You should study more, otherwise you might fail the exam. 22. The weather was cold. Still, they decided to go for a swim. 23. Though she was tired, she stayed up late to finish her work. 24. Unlike his brother, Tom is very outgoing. 25. The championship game is Team Mars versus Team Saturn. 26. The book was long, yet it was incredibly engaging. Emphasis. 1. Above all, we must ensure the safety of all participants in the event. 2. I'm absolutely certain that this decision is the right one. 3. Actually, I was planning to visit Paris next summer. 4. After all, we are all working toward the same goal. 5. As a matter of fact, I have already completed the assignment. 6. Clearly, the benefits of the new technology outweigh the costs. 7. Certainly, the results of the study will have a significant impact on future policies. 8. The initiative focuses chiefly on improving local infrastructure. 9. Each and every participant must complete their registration form. 10. The weather was extremely hot, making it difficult to work outside. 11. Furthermore, we should consider the long-term effects of our actions. 12. In fact, the issue has been resolved much quicker than expected. 13. In truth, the situation is more complicated than it seems. 14. Indeed, the research shows that early intervention is key to success. 15. More and more people are choosing to work from home. 16. More importantly, we need to address the environmental impact of our actions. 17. Moreover, the company is launching a new product line next month. 18. Most important of all, we must ensure that our customers are satisfied. 19. Most of all, we appreciate your dedication and hard work. 20. Obviously, the team worked hard to complete the project ahead of schedule. 21. The issue of data privacy is of major interest to our clients. 22. The new policy will significantly improve employee productivity. 23. Especially for beginners, the course can be challenging at first. 24. Surely you understand the importance of meeting the deadline. 25. The climax of the performance was the final breathtaking scene. 26. The main issue is that we need more resources to continue our research. 27. The major point in the presentation was the need for urgent reforms. 28. Time management is the most necessary skill for a successful career. 29. The new policy is the most significant change in the company's history. 30. To add to that, the team has also suggested a few new initiatives. 31. To be sure, we must follow the protocol exactly as outlined. 32. To culminate, we will have a roundtable discussion with all the experts. 33. To emphasize, the project deadline is non-negotiable. 34. To highlight the key points, we need to focus on efficiency and quality. 35. The professor stressed the importance of attending every class. 36. Undoubtedly, the new features will attract more customers. 37. The project was unquestionably a success, given the positive feedback. 38. Without a doubt, this is the best solution for the problem. 39. Without question, she is the most qualified candidate for the position. Generalization. 1. Above all, we must prioritize safety in all our operations. 2. As a rule, employees are expected to arrive by 9 a.m. 3. Broadly speaking, the industry is experiencing rapid technological changes. 4. The meeting was chiefly about the new marketing strategies. 5. Essentially, this new policy aims to reduce environmental impact. 6. Generally, people prefer to travel during the summer months. 7. In essence, the idea behind the proposal is to reduce costs and increase efficiency. 8. In general, most people enjoy spending time outdoors. 9. In most cases, employees are expected to work from home on Fridays. 10. The team was largely successful in reaching its goals. 11. The team was mostly focused on improving customer service. 12. On the whole, the event was a great success. 13. The project is primarily focused on improving the community's infrastructure. 14. The patient recovered to some extent after the treatment. 15. Usually, I prefer to work in morning when I am most productive. Illustration and exemplification. 1. As an example, a balanced diet includes protein, carbohydrates, and healthy fats. 2. As illustrated by the graph, sales have increased significantly this year. 3. As revealed by recent studies, regular exercise improves mental health. 4. There are many tourist attractions in Italy. For example, the Colosseum is famous worldwide. 5. He was very nervous before the speech. In other words, he lacked confidence. 6. I love classical music, in particular Beethoven's symphonies. 7. The research focused on patients in the case of severe heart disease. 8. This law applies only to employees. In this case, freelancers are not affected. 9. She is very talented. Indeed, she won several international awards. 10. The company focuses on sustainability, namely reducing waste and using renewable energy. 11. Some fruits, such as apples and oranges, are rich in vitamins. 12. Suppose that you won the lottery. How would you spend the money? 13. He trained hard, thus he won the competition. 14. The teacher used the model to demonstrate the principles of physics. 15. Let me give an example to explain my point more clearly. 16. She used a chart to illustrate the difference between the two concepts. 17. The guide used a map to show us the hiking route. 18. The rule applies specifically to students who arrive late. 19. We need to be precise. To be exact, the measurements must be accurate to the nearest millimeter. 20. She finally met the author, which she had admired for years. 21. Spring is a time when most plants blossom. 22. The library is a place where students can study in peace. 23. Who is responsible for organizing the event? 24. The author whom I admire the most is Jane Austen. 25. The girl whose father is a famous scientist won the science competition. Repetition and reiteration. 1. Again, I remind you that the deadline is next Monday. 2. As stated earlier, the company will implement new policies next month. 3. She's not just smart, in fact, she graduated at the top of her class. 4. The policy has some flaws. In other words, it needs further revisions. 5. The research focuses on climate change, in particular, the impact of rising temperatures. 6. The movie was too long and slow-paced. In short, it was boring. 7. The process may seem difficult, but in simpler terms, it's just about following a few basic steps. 8. The event was cancelled, that is to say, it will not take place as planned. 9. To clarify, the discount applies only to online purchases. 10. Let me use a simple example to explain how this concept works. 11. To outline the main points, the project focuses on sustainability, cost reduction, and efficiency. 12. To paraphrase, the speaker emphasized that education is key to a better future. 13. This issue is quite complex. To put it in another way, it affects many different areas of society. 14. The two ideas are similar, but to put it differently, one focuses on theory while the other is more practical. 15. Let me emphasize this point to repeat, everyone must submit their assignments by Friday. 16. The instructions were unclear, so I will try to rephrase them more simply. 17. To restate, regular exercise is essential for a healthy lifestyle. 18. Let's take a moment to review what we've learned so far. 19. To summarize, the meeting covered key financial updates and upcoming projects. Time markers and sequencing. 1. After finishing my homework, I went out for a walk. 2. We had dinner, and after that, we watched a movie. 3. All at once, the crowd started cheering. 4. She kept smiling all the time, even in difficult situations. 5. She was pretending to listen, but all the while, she was lost in thought. 6. He always wakes up early to exercise. 7. As she spoke, the audience listened carefully. 8. As long as you study hard, you will pass the exam. 9. As soon as she arrived, the meeting started. 10. At first, I found the language difficult, but now I am fluent. 11. At last, we reached the top of the mountain. 12. At present, we are focusing on expanding our business. 13. At the beginning, I wasn't sure if I could do it. 14. At the end of the story, the hero finally finds peace. 15. The two events happen at the same time. 16. Before leaving, make sure to turn off the lights. 17. You should have completed the task by now. 18. The storm was strong. Consequently, many flights were cancelled. 19. The company is currently developing a new product. 20. The teacher directly started explaining the math problem left last session. 21. We met during the conference. 22. I finished my work earlier than expected. 23. We faced many challenges but eventually succeeded. 24. Finally, we reached our destination. 25. First, we need to gather all the necessary materials. 26. Firstly, I would like to thank everyone for their support. 27. Following that, we moved on the next phase of the project. 28. He was formerly a professional athlete before becoming a coach. 29. From this point, we will focus on improving customer satisfaction. 30. She travels frequently for work. 31. Generally, people prefer to avoid conflicts. 32. Gradually, he adjusted to the new environment. 33. Henceforth, all employees must submit their reports on time. 34. He left immediately after the meeting ended. 35. Initially, I didn't like the idea, but now I understand its benefits. 36. In the end, everything worked out perfectly. 37. In the first place, you should have told me about the problem. 38. In the second place, we need to consider the budget. 39. In the third place, we must consider the environmental impact of our decision before finalizing the project. 40. I hope to travel more in the future. 41. I worked on my essay in the meantime. 42. You can wait here in the meanwhile. 43. I see my old classmates infrequently. 44. She instantly regretted her words when she saw the hurt expression on his face. 45. He arrived just then, right when we were talking about him. 46. Lastly, I want to thank my family for their support. 47. Last of all, let's review the key takeaways. 48. She finished her work and left later. 49. Later on, we will discuss the results of the experiment. 50. Little by little, he regained his confidence. 51. He was cooking, meanwhile she was setting the table. 52. I have never seen such a beautiful sunset. 53. We finished our drinks and moved on to the next topic. 54. The news had not at all affected his decision. 55. I saw him not long ago at the supermarket. 56. I can talk right now. Let's discuss this now. 57. I see him occasionally at social events. 58. I often read books before going to bed. 59. I forgot my keys. On the next occasion, I'll be more careful. 60. I visited Paris one time and it was an unforgettable trip. 61. She knocked on the door once, then waited for a reply. 62. Once again, he arrived late to the meeting despite multiple reminders. 63. The magazine is published periodically throughout the year. 64. The package should arrive presently. 65. He had studied abroad previously. 66. He ran quickly to catch the bus. 67. She rarely eats fast food. 68. I recently started a new fitness routine and I already feel more energetic. 69. She repeatedly asked for an explanation. 70. Second, we will discuss each point in order. 71. Secondly, we will analyze the data step by step. 72. We seldom go to the movies these days. 73. The two teams worked simultaneously to complete the project. 74. We remain indoors since it started raining. 75. The baby learned to walk slowly, step by step. 76. So far, we have made great progress on the project. 77. I feel energetic some of the time, but other times I just want to rest. 78. I sometimes go for a walk in the evening. 79. We should leave in a minute as the train will arrive soon. 80. Starting with breakfast, the meal plan is carefully designed. 81. We discussed the issue and subsequently made a decision. 82. Suddenly the lights went out. 83. The office is closed temporarily for renovations. 84. He promised to call me the following week. 85. If you fail, just try the next time. 86. We went to the store, then we went home. 87. To begin with, let's introduce ourselves. 88. She is visiting us today. 89. They are leaving for vacation tomorrow. 90. We cannot leave the office until all the reports are submitted. 91. I usually go for a run in the morning. 92. Call me when you arrive at the airport. 93. I like listening to music while working. 94. Without exception, all students must submit their assignments on time. 95. I saw him yesterday at the park. That's it. بسیار خوب. امیدوارم که این تجربه جدید به نوعی برای بسیاری از شما بوده باشه و البته تجربه مثمر ثمر، تجربه موفقی بوده باشه و با تکرار و گوش دادن بیشتر بتونید اینها رو یاد بگیرید و بتونید به کار ببرید. نمونه مثال ها رو داشتید. شما میتونید مثال هایی از خودتون داشته باشید، چیزهای جدیدی. یک بار دیگه یا بارها قبلا عرض کردم، زبان در دست شماست دوست عزیز. شما میتونید از زبان به اون حالتی که میخواهید، منوط به دانستن قواعد گرامری و به کار بردن لغت‌های مناسب، استفاده کنید اونجوری که شما میخواید. میتونید جمله‌هایی رو در زبان انگلیسی و هر زبان دیگه‌ای بسازید که در اون زبان برای اولین بار در طول تاریخ اون زبان بوده باشه. این کاملا میسره و این همون کاریه که الان من میخوام با خمینی و آفتابه انجام بدم. قطعا جمله هایی که الان خدمت خواهم گفت در طول تاریخ زبان انگلیسی وجود نداشته قبل از این. حالا 11 تا گروه بودن، عرض کردم من اگه میخواستم میتونستم برای تمام اینها، یعنی بیشتر از این 300 تا درست کنم، ولی حالا لزومی نداره این توفه رو خیلی اینجا معطل کنیم. من چند تا از اینها رو الان میخونم براتون با اون تصویرهایی که خواهد بود، مثال های خمینی و آفتابه. چند تا از اونها هم برای اینکه وقت کمتر گرفته بشه اصلا دیگه فقط مثالشو براتون می‌نویسم، دیگه نمیخونم، خودتون تلفظش رو امیدوارم یاد بگیرید. خب ما الان برای اولیش addition داریم. Besides his آفتابه، خمینی also owned hundreds of colorful marbles. آفتابه که فقط نداشت، تیله هم داشت. تیله بازی می‌آخوند خیلی تو این چیزا خوب هستن، چیزایی که خیلی سلول‌های مغزی رو درگیر میکنن و بسیار پیچیده و بغرنج هستن، مثل آفتابه و مثل تیله. بعدش cause and effect. As Khomeini was feeling tired, he decided to sit down with his آفتابه for a while. خسته شده بود دیگه، با آفتابهش نشست. برای concession داریم admittedly Khomeini's love for his favorite آفتابه exceeded his love for his son. واقعا اینطوری بود. تاریخ شناسا میدونن که اینطور بوده. برای conclusion داریم Khomeini finally fell asleep after counting so many of the bells last night. بیچاره خوابش نمیبرد، ناچار بود که اینا رو بشماره تا خوابش ببره. این conclusionه. بعدش contrast یا تقابل رو نشون میده. Normal people put their cats or dogs on their laps when watching TV. However, Khomeini keeps his آفتابه nearby instead. به جایی که رو پاش گربه یا سگ داشته باشه، خمینی خب آفتابه بیشتر دوست داره، کنارش میذاش و نوازش میکنه. و برای emphasis unquestionably Khomeini prefers metal aftabes over plastic ones in the heat of the hell. بله دیگه در اون دمای زیاد جهنم خب پلاستیک زود آب میشه دیگه، بنابراین خمینی ترجیحش تأکیدش بر فلزی بودن این آفتابه بودش. بعدیش برای generalization خمینی usually matched his sleepers with his aftabes. یعنی دمپایی‌هاشو با آفتابه‌هاش مچ میکنه. بسیار خوب، امیدوارم که شما از برنامه و درس امروز راضی بوده باشید، خوشتون اومده باشه و یاد گرفته باشید. هدف اصلی ما از این برنامه یاد گرفتن شما هستش، کمک به شما در امر آموزش زبان انگلیسی هستش. امیدوارم که اینطور بوده باشه. باز هم مواظب خودتون باشید، سعی کنید که خوب باشید، هی یاد بگیرید، هی یاد بگیرید و تا برنامه بعدی و درس بعدی، بدرود.